Pro Football Focus has given their reasons for why they're optimistic, and they've been pretty high on the Patriots this offseason. Ready for this? Why they're optimistic? Now, they give the optimistic reasons for all 32 teams. Here's what they say about New England. They created an offensive renaissance through the draft. I'm sorry. Renaissance? That's a big word to be using about this particular team.
I don't know what that means. What are you going to run around in cloaks and eat chicken with your hands? Hear ye, hear ye.
Hear ye, what?
King Richard's Fair, whatever, Renaissance.
Oh, Renaissance Fair?
Yeah.
No, I was picking up what you're putting
You use
down.
words like that, that's where I go. It's so frustrating. Go ahead.
I mean, not in the literal sense of
Correct.
the Renaissance,
Correct.
but a Renaissance.
Right, I get it. We get it.
A rebirth.
New direction, right.
Brand new.
Yep. We're heading this way.
New England spent 7 of its 8 draft picks on the offensive side of the ball with the hope that first-round quarterback Drake May could lead them into the new era of greatness. May, the FBS leader in big-time throws over the past 2 seasons. Did you know that?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
Get out of here. You knew that he was the leader in big-time throws?
We're looking at Milton's throws, too. Like, Milton's got some big ones, too. But, like, some of the deceptive stuff with Mac, like from a year ago, he had some big plays down the field, like, which was weird.
I mean, I could tell you with my eyes that May's a big-time throw type of guy.
Yeah.
He should add a vertical element to the passing game that was dormant with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi at the helm. Because both of those guys are not very good. That's me adding that. PFF didn't add that. I did. They write, they also provided May with a few new weapons that should make the offense more explosive. Jalen Polk and Javon Baker were 2 of the best deep threats in college football in 2023. Both finished the season with an FBS best 99.9 deep receiving grade. Impressive.
Yeah, Polk was legit. Didn't know much about Baker, though. But
he also writes, keep an eye on 7th-round tight end Jaheim Bell. He was arguably the best after-the-catch tight end in college football after Brock Bowers, who looks a lot like Tim McKone. Again, they didn't add that. I did. Okay.
And justifiably so.
They're buying in on the Patriots draft in a big, big way.
Sure are. You're talking about 3 guys that are drafted that one you really knew about in Polk. The other 2 you didn't know much about. There's not one draft expert around here that could say, oh, yeah, they were in on this guy, meaning Baker. Like, we learned about Baker after the pick, okay? But it looks like he goes up and fights for the ball. But you're putting a lot of responsibility on 3 guys. They're going to be brand new to everything, wide-eyed. The game's different. You got corners up in your crawl, man. You got guys in your hip pocket that you got to shake and you got to be able to get rid of. It's not about zone and we're layering zones like Washington did and Polk's running wide open down the field. You got to beat one-on-one coverage. Because if I'm a team playing you, especially early in the year, I'm going man all day and getting up in your stuff. If you can't beat it, I'm going to do it every play. You'll be 3 and out before you know it. So they better hit. And can this tight end, and I've heard some stuff about him too, it's like a Jonnu Smith type pick, but a guy that can catch and a guy that could run. And can you incorporate him into this bootleg game, whatever the hell you're going to run? But how much of it's going to be Brissett on the boot, This is more fit. It's more of a fit for May, eventually when he becomes the guy. So, but I know they're excited about the tight end because you do have Hooper and you do still have, Hunter. So Hunter's going to be your 1, Hooper be your 2, and this kid's going to fit as a 3 and maybe even a move fullback type guy. Watch him start doing some fullback type stuff, especially if he can block. Because of his zone blocking scheme and the motion they're going to be able to use with him. And that's what I'm trying to look at it as, if you talk about it this way. And tight ends. Like, Barth is like factoring in the tight ends. I don't factor them in that much. Because I think they're going to be able to be covered. And you go nickel, and you could cover them with a nickel. Now, your best cover safety should be able to handle these tight ends. Now it's like, which receiver pops? And Pop's going to be your slot. How much does KJ Osborne do? I don't know.
Don't forget.
I haven't seen him yet.
They're going to run the ball a lot.
Yep.
Don't forget that.
Oh, they're going to establish the run.
At all.
Run. Play fake. Yeah, run. Play fake. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Not to mention you have Ramondre Stevenson now watching Nick Chubb tape to figure out how to be a running back again.
Right. Yeah, I want you to run like him.
Yeah. How much money did they just give him?
36.
17 million guaranteed. And they've got him watching tape of Nick Chubb to relearn how to run.
That's like when teams they took the Brady offense and made them watch Brady tape, and that worked out well down in Miami with Chad O'Shea. Hey, we want you to be Brady. No, you're not Brady.
It's absurd for a couple of reasons, McKone, but go ahead.
I mean, what would an all-time draft class actually be? If you nailed this draft, what's realistic? Drake May's a franchise quarterback?
Yeah.
No, probably like the Gronkowski McCourty draft, that one.
Right?
Yeah.
So one of these two receivers hit. I mean, to write about Baker, a 4th-round pick, and maybe it's intriguing, to pencil him in as this is going to be a renaissance for the offense because you took a receiver in the 2nd round and the 4th round, I think is wildly unrealistic. Never mind a 7th-round tight end.
See, I think that's where they're looking at those two guys.
Keep an eye out, though. He's really good.
They're looking at Baker and the tight end as guys that really shouldn't have been 4th and 7th round picks. If the things were right, tight end probably a 3rd rounder. Okay, you hit the draft that well. You nailed the draft. That means they nailed the effing draft because you got your franchise quarterback and you really pieced it in around him. Holy crap! Imagine if one of these offensive linemen stick. Kid from Wallace, kid from Penn State. They said the biggest upside is the one from Texas A&M. He's the one built to play guard. But going back to the original point here with Barth, pick 5 guys and go with it. Let's not experiment kicking a Wenu inside. We know he can play guard. We know he can play tackle. God damn, man, you need 5 guys up front with continuity. Let them learn the position and just go with it.
Right, they could be building that continuity right now, and they chose not to. They were moving guys all over the place.
I know you're not hitting anybody yet, too, but you put the pads on in camp a little bit. I mean, you better when we're at July week 1, they better have their starting 5 ready to go, offensive line, and that's going to be the whole camp.
I also think it's kind of crazy to start talking about how Drake May led in big-time throws and these guys were big-time deep threats, as if Drake May is playing week 1, which he isn't.
I never know.
No, it's true. You do. You never do know. He might just be so good they can't avoid it.
Jacoby might have an awful camp. You don't know. I don't expect that, but if it happens, it happens.
I do not believe week 9, my week 9 landing spot, I don't believe he's going to make it there.
No shot.
I think he's in before then.
Yeah, you moved up your timetable.
No, I still think it's what I would want. If the way that question was posed was if you're in charge, when do you start the guy? For me, it's week 9. For McKone, it's week 6. For you, it's week 1.
Mm-hmm. Now to get him up and running.
Yep. But I don't believe he's actually going to be held out until week 9.
I don't even think he's going to make the week 6. I really don't.
I think he will. I think 5 games is good. I think 5 games is the sample you get. And I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I think those would be 5 valuable weeks for him to not play. Believe it or not.
Man,
it might seem like not a lot, right? But it's a 5 weeks of a regular season for a guy who's experiencing it for the first time ever. And I think it would be helpful, even if it is only 5 weeks off that he's not playing. 5 weeks to let the offensive coordinator get settled. 5 weeks to find some of that continuity on the offensive line that they're apparently not putting together right now.
So the offensive renaissance because of the draft.
Correct.
Realistically, if you're Elliott Wolf,
yeah,
what would you consider a success in terms of that draft class?
2 players come out of it, the quarterback and one of the receivers.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.